chat? Are we live? Are we live? Hello, the ghost. Welcome. Hopefully everything is working because I don't have the stream pulled up on my like another device, so I always can't tell if like everything's fine. I kind of just have to pray and hope that nothing's breaking. Are we live? Okay, can hear everything clear? Okay. I assume they were live then. All right. Sweet. So, to those people in the chat, if you're watching the VOD as well, hello. Welcome back to yet another stream on the Star Bandit channel. And if most of you saw my community post, you guys would know that I decided to stream on Thursday instead, which is today. And if you saw my community post as well, most of you would know that there will be a announcement coming up soon, before 14th May, specifically before 14th May, and there's a reason behind it. Um, there's going to be an announcement video soon on my channel, and it's going to be really important. I don't know when it's going to drop. I will probably say it on next week's stream because, as some of you would know from the chat, what was it called? The community post was that I am going to be making an announcement regarding the future of this channel. It's not about quitting though, so don't worry about that. But for now, I'm going to be streaming for this week Thursday, which is today, and next week Thursday as well. And then there's going to be a short break. There's going to be a video that's going to explain everything. I'm still getting that video ready. But for now, let's just sit back and enjoy some music. So, some new things I want to try out for today's stream is I have this track over here that I was working on last stream, if you guys remember that one. But something I downloaded was at the request of one of our fellow stream audience members, the Ghost. I downloaded two sample science like packs. Can you give us a clue or hint? Mainly about like scheduling on the channel. And it's gonna be a bit of a break. That's all. It's basically IRL stuff. I have to go away for a while. That's like the biggest hint I can give. But yeah. Okay, but yeah, I downloaded some of the sample science stuff, and I'm going to be checking that out later today. Maybe I'll just take a look at the field. What do we have here? Okay, this is called the Legacy drum kits, apparently. There's gonna be more as well. There's apparently an 8-bit kit that I downloaded too, which is gonna be interesting. But yeah, I only got the two free ones because I've been very busy for the past few weeks since one of my relatives actually ended up in the one of my family members actually ended up in the hospital recently. Yeah, everything's fine, but it's just been really busy for the past week because I have to do so much visiting. Um, but everything's all good now, and yeah. But I'll be checking out more sample science stuff in the future whenever I can. And also, I organized my folders, which is very nice because it was kind of a mess last time. Yeah. So there's a few things I want to do for today's stream. I think it's gonna be like an hour and 30-minute stream. Not an hour. Don't worry. We're gonna get more content. But yeah, so we're gonna be working on this future-based project. I hope it doesn't lag. I'm gonna play it right now and show it to you guys. Hopefully it doesn't lag that much because yeah, I froze all the tracks. So yeah, let's see. All right, here's what I worked on last time. And I did some stuff earlier today, so you guys can see some of the new additions that I added. But yeah, let me just unfold all these tracks. There we go. So yeah, three, two, one. Here's what I worked on. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be working on for today's stream. It's gonna be like a 1 hour, 30-minute stream, maybe a little bit longer depending on how much in the flow I am. But yeah, read the chat very quickly. Getting a new Mac next month. That is very nice. Very cool. This is one of my favorite out of the ones I've heard from you. Thank you, man. Yeah, I was quite happy with it, the way this one turned out as well. This one's pretty nice. Hi, hello, my player. Welcome to the stream. A bit late. No worries, it's fine. Fig, you're here too. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. I said, hey, what's up? Hello. I heard the Star Bandit trademark thing. Yes, I put it into the track as well. It's very nice. Just stand by here while doing something. All right, sure, no problem. So, yep, we're going to be working on this track today. I just want to go over some elements that I really, really enjoyed from what I added. One thing I added was these drums over here. These are in the build up. So the reason why I like this so much is because this tom is actually slightly delayed. Like it's delayed by 15 milliseconds. Maybe I can delay it even more actually. And it gives it this flam effect if you listen. And it's a bit more realistic in a sense. So that's why I wanted to put that in. It's got kind of like a dramatic, like taiko drum kind of sound. So if you would hear it in context, it sounds very nice. Because I don't really have that many real samples for like drums, so like that's kind of the best I have to do with. And I learned a lot about how human playing would really sound because it's not supposed to be like perfectly on beat. Like there's a bit of a delay sometimes. Is how a human being would play a drum. So yeah. And as my player mentioned over here, I added the signature, my producer tag over here. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. So in context, it sounds very nice. Like seriously, I this producer this producer signature was actually quite a good idea by me, honestly. And I have more toms over here to really. I did a lot of percussion work for this build up because I really wanted it to work really well. Saw your pretty ass soon as you came in the door. What, man? Okay. Anyways, we're gonna be working mainly on the drop, but I also kind of want to work a bit on the I'm thinking of like whether I should work a bit more on the build up or the intro because I'm thinking of like making the intro a bit more interesting. But yeah, let's work a bit on the drop. So first thing I kind of want to do is I'm not happy with the chord rhythm in the drop. Like on its own it sounds fine, but then when you add the drums in, it sounds a bit messy. So there's two things I can either do. I can either make the the drums fit the rhythm of this chord progression, or I can do the opposite and change the chords to match the drums. I might try. Let me try adding these drums. Are just copy and paste from the beginning, so I think I'm gonna try the first option. I'm gonna try and line up the drums um, with the chord progression and see how it sounds. All right, there we go. Done, done, done. Okay, so it should be something like this. Oh, I think I know another issue as well. I think another issue is that the stacks don't really resolve on the final phrase. Maybe I should change that too. Okay, let me get the side chain in here. Uh, Whoops, I pressed Control F. I did not mean to do that. Control F searches in my DAW. All right, let's see how this sounds. I think it's a bit better actually, yeah. Yeah, that sounds very nice. Think of maybe adding. Should I add dubstep growls in here? I'm thinking where I should add some like bass growls in here to make it even more interesting. Let me see how it goes. Let me go into my sample pack. Sample pack, my samples. All right. Let's see what I got here. Then bass kind of from a heartbeat. Not gonna lie. Oh, hold on. Which one? The bass kind of form a heartbeat. Hold on. Which one is it? Is it the? Maybe I'll recognize it. Hold on. Where was the? Oh yeah, this one. Let's add this one in and see how it sounds. So this is an F minor. We are in E flat minor, so I have to move it E flat. There we go. And now switch to 75. Wait, was it in 75? No. Wait, this should be in 70. Okay, there we go. Hmm. It's not very audible. Maybe I raise up by semitone. Ooh, kind of. Oh, wait. What if I double the time and then fade it in? Reverse it? Nah, it doesn't really work. I don't really like it. Oh, another thing I wanted to change was this bass. It's the drum beat one. Kind of form a heartbeat, heart rate. Hold on. Oh, wait. Yeah, I kind of get it. Yeah, I get what you mean by that now. Yeah. Oh, I want to add more percussion as well. I have some ideas for adding percussion. Thanks for reminding me. It's hot in the UK right now. Oh, really? Hot in the UK. Huh. I've actually never been to the UK, not thinking about it. But is it really hot in there right now? I'm from Singapore, so like it's always hot here most of the time. But recently it's been raining a lot. Like the bass right now is this. Maybe I'm thinking of like adding a more like technological, artificial kind of bass. So I'm looking over my OBS. Sometimes I notice that my mic peaks a bit. If it does, I'm very sorry because I mean I can't hear it myself. So that is the wrong pitch. -36. That's a bit too low. I think that's a bit too low. Hold on. Let me move this up an octave. There we go. Let me do sample and hold on this. Yeah, the UK is usually known for being wet and cold. However, the last couple of years it's been getting hot and hotter. Oh, that's global warming, man. That's unfortunate. Hope it gets better over there. Tempo dotted. I think there's too many randoms on this. Yeah, the first one was better. I think I'll use the first one. phaser on this. Maybe a bit of hard clip. Maybe no high cut. High cut kind of ruins it. Let's try phases first. That sounds alright, yeah. Alright, let's see how this sounds in context. Can't really hear it. Let me lower the volume of the other ones. -3, -3. Let's see how this sounds. It's a cool sound, but you can't really hear it. Trying to think, how do I make this more audible? Maybe I put it in the mid-range instead. I think that's fine. It's like a felt not heard kind of situation. Coping. It's kind of coping at that point, but okay, where's my sub crossover? There it is. Actually, do I even need a sub crossover? Maybe saturation to boost the harmonic. Maybe. Let me try a saturator. See how it sounds. Oh, let me try something. Let me try the kilohertz distortion. Where is it? Kilohertz. Is they stereo shaper distortion. Okay, let's see how this sounds. Oh no. Oh no. Wait, why is it okay, it was loading for a while. That kind of scared me. fixes any DC offset. I've always wondered what that is. Like I heard of DC offset before, but I actually don't know what it does. Don't touch the bias knob, it doesn't really help. Hold on, how does the sub sound? Sub is okay. Let's add an OTT to this. Hopefully the OTT doesn't make the sound a bit too crushed or something like that. Let's see. Oops, I soloed the wrong thing. I was wondering why I soloed the whole thing. There we go. 31. Oh yeah, that is not the audio I want. Oh, it was already like at the wrong level when I started. Okay, hold on. Let me put this at -12. And then turn on this. Yeah, and then it totally breaks it. Okay, it feels a bit more full. I guess I'll just take that. I guess it's not too bad. All right, let me freeze that. I'm gonna be trying to freeze as many tracks as possible whenever I can because, as you guys know, my CPU will break if there's too many MIDI tracks that are not frozen. It's just how Ableton works, pretty much. Thinking of like whether we can get like a. Okay, I'm gonna render out some of this and then I'm gonna try and do some cool like tricks with audio because I want to try it. I want to see how it works. Okay, next thing I wanted to fix, these cymbals are way too soft. They are very, very, very soft. So what I'm thinking is maybe I get a new set of cymbals and a new pattern to make it sound better, pretty much. So maybe I get rid of this previous pattern. So now we have no cymbals. Like, look, I took out the cymbals. To me, that's like no difference, personally. So let's fix that. Let's add some new cymbals. A bit more hard-hitting. Let's see what's in the dubstep pack. Maybe the dubstep pack has like some cool cymbals we can use. Ooh, how about this one? Let's get like a pattern for this. Okay, let's see what we got. There we go. Okay. So this will play 8 notes, and let's make it so that every like was it odd? Yeah, every odd beat, it's a bit accident. So there's this kind of like accent sound to it. It's not obvious enough. Hold on. Should I boost the velocity all the way up? There we go. And then let's add this one. There's another transient layer. There we go. And then we'll turn down the velocity of this as well. You have to be very patient whenever you want to play velocity. Like you really have to get like a good number, to me. Now we need a very tight kind of hat. Maybe a trap hat would work. Uh, like something very sprinkly is what I'm looking for. House pack. Let's see what we got here. Symbols. Closed. Ooh, this one. Yeah, something like this, and then we need like a open hat. Let's get an open hat. Rides. Ooh, this ride sound could be nice. That sounds so nice. Okay, let's see how this sounds in context. Let's do from the pre-drop. I think it needs one more open hat. Let's get another ride. Future base pack, save me, please. Get me a nice ride. Not in real life. Open hat. Let's see. Oh wait, I think the house pack has a good open hat that I can use. Yeah, this one. Okay, so other than this, I also want to add a nice percussion like instrument rack to help make this part even more interesting. So I'm gonna get an audio track and we're gonna put some cool percussion inside of here. In fact, let's go into the finally go into the sample signs pack and see if we can find any interesting 8-bit effects, because I downloaded the whole pack. Let's see what we got. Wait, I've heard that sound before. That's from Pokemon. Oh, these ones are nice. These are so nostalgic. What's gunshot? Okay. We need something that's atonal. So atonal means that it doesn't have a frequency to it or like a note to attach to it. I like that one. Ooh, okay, yeah. We can make like an interesting pattern out of this. Pack is so perfect for me. I think so too, yeah. There's some very interesting effects. I plan to have like a chip tune section in this track, so yeah. Ooh, okay. I need like a transient layer now. Oh, there you go. This sound. Yeah. So we do 1 to 3 like this. So it will sound like this. Oh, yeah. There you go. And then we repeat it. And then instead of this effect, let's do something else. Yeah, these are all good sounds, but it's just I need something that's not tonal. Like, I think this one will be fine. And then I want like I want a snare, like there's this like trap snare. Yeah, this one. So we're gonna do quarter notes with this. 1, 2. Like, okay. We need to. I really should have done this in like a drum rack, but make mistakes, I guess. Um, there you go. That is way too fast. Okay, I think it's better if I just put this all in the drum rack. I don't know what I'm thinking. I should just put all this in the drum rack. Hold on. Let me get a drum rack in here. That's drum synth drum rack. There we go. Okay. Um, put this in here. Put this in here. And then the gunshot sound. In fact, I feel like it's the right way to do this is to put this in the drum rack. Okay, where's the trap snare? Uh, there it is. I think most of you have heard this snare before. It's been used in like so many like popular songs. Okay, we're gonna do 4 bars for this. All right, there we go. There you go. And then where's the trap snare? Something like this. There we go. Sounds a bit off. I don't know why. Okay, let me just make this MIDI, and I actually have to go to the bathroom in a moment. So hold on, let me just finish up this MIDI, and then I'm gonna take a bathroom break. There's a bathroom break for all you guys as well. I think for this, you shouldn't go so fast. Maybe you should go like dun dun dun, something like that. Now it's too soft. Hold on. Okay, I think it's a bit too. It sounds too much like a build-up. That's the problem right now. There you go, something like this. And then drag this over here. Okay, one last thing before I go take a bathroom break. Where's that one? I heard this earlier today. I was looking through some of the packs, and I found this crash that I really like. Is it this one? Yeah, this one. I really like this crash. All right, and I just want to put it here, and then maybe like a slight transition into it like this. Let's see how this sounds. All right, let's see how this sounds. I think the other symbol sounds good enough as a transition. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do with this effect rack that I just made. Oh, I just realized that pattern's a bit wrong. Divide this. Oh, wait, I made a mistake. Okay, there we go. And then oh wait, I did this wrong. Hold on. It's supposed to go here. There we go. Okay, yeah. And what I was gonna do is I'm gonna take this bit crush rack that I make and I'm gonna put it on the drum rack and watch how that affects the sound. So I'm gonna put this here and then I'm gonna put it at 64%. So we're gonna go halfway. Watch how it affects the sound. Puts like a little reduction on it, maybe 80. There we go. Let's see if this sounds dramatic enough. So as well, if you change some of the pitch of some of those. Oh yeah. I'm trying to think. Should I use a frequency shifter for that? Like, and then make it MIDI triggers so like it randomly changes. I'm trying to think. Because since this is an instrument rack, it's very hard to change the pitches by themselves. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. This may not sound that great, but I'm gonna take an LFO. Um, I'm gonna take an LFO in here, and then I'm going to get the frequency shifter. Actually, no, I think I can just use shifter for this. Where is it? Pitch modulation shifter. All right, let's get a shifter in here, and I'm gonna modulate the pitch of the fine knob. We'll do 45 and 55. I think that's good enough. We're gonna make it around 0.5 hertz, and then we're gonna make it 25. Actually, no, 100 on the depth is fine because it's already put at the maximum value. Okay. Let's do random. So now there'll be a slight pitch variation. It may be a bit hard to hear though. Oh wait, I don't think I should use shifter for this. Hold on. So how I do it in Logic Pro is I put the one shot on the sampler track and then you can then play it with your MIDI. Yeah, but then I would do that, but the problem with that is that I've seen that a lot. Is since this is in a drum rack, it's like holding all of the samples at the same time, and I can't, even though they are in samplers, it doesn't control the pitch of the sample itself. Actually, I think I can do that, but I can't remember how to do it. Yeah, there's a way you can do it, but um, it's quite complicated on Ableton. Like, if you want to do the pitch thing, then I have to make like 5 different samplers on 5 different tracks, and it could get a bit complex, which I think for this I can just use a LFO and make it a bit random. I do that most of the time. Where's the user? No, not user library. Where is it? Packs? Ah, here it is. I'm going to use the original frequency shifter for this because the regular shifter sounds a bit weird. Devices, audio effects, um, frequency shift. Where's legacy? There it is. Frequency shift. I'm gonna start this so that I can find it all the time. Okay, there we go. And then I'm gonna map this to fine. There we go. This will be a bit more obvious. It's not very audible. Hold on. Wait, why am I putting an LFO on the frequency shifter? I forgot frequency shifter already has an LFO. there we go. The pitch is changing if you listen very closely. Yeah, it's just a very slight variation, but it's a bit hard to hear in the mix anyway, so I think I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay, I'm gonna go for a quick bathroom break. I'll be back in a moment, so I'm just gonna put on this intermission thing that I made. Okay. We're back. All right. Okay, we're back. So, yeah. I'm thinking of changing the intermission song, make it a bit different, so it knows the intermission. But yeah. Okay. So we're back now, and I'm trying to think what's next. Should I maybe? Okay, I'm gonna really get rid of this symbol as well. Hold on. I think it's a bit too much. Let me fade this in slightly. Okay, let's put some effects. When I was in the bathroom just now, I was thinking like, oh, I wanted to add, yeah, I wanted to add an effect over here, like on these chords, the whole group. Did I put this in the group? Oh, I don't want this in the group actually. So let me get my good old friend over here, the Kilohertz tape stop. Where is it? Plugins. Tape stop. Where is it? One of my favorite effects to add. So I'm going to where's the play button? Show automation. There it is. In new lane. All right. Oh, that's perfect. That's actually a perfect get. See how this sounds. Okay, over here it's not really that good. Oh, okay, okay. How about here? Okay, yeah, I think for those two notes it's fine. So we have two tape stops over here. Because the thing about future bass is you want to try and make your chords sound interesting. So usually most people, what they would do is the trick that they usually do is a very cheap trick. Is they will get like a LFO, and then they will just put it onto the chord stack, put it like 1/8. This is like the easy way to do it, and then this is pretty much what they do with their chords. However, that's kind of getting old nowadays, and I mean, if you still do it, then like if you like it, then it's fine. I personally think it makes the chords sound too thin though, because now if you listen to it. So yeah, I don't really like doing that nowadays. Last time when I was still learning music production, I was having fun with that because it's a nice effect. But nowadays, I like other ways of making my chords sound interesting. But oh, maybe we can give this a bit of rhythm. So what we can do over here, dun 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 dun. So something like this. Nah, that one doesn't sound that nice. Okay, something like that. Let me try using the bit crush rack on this. I'm going to automate it so it's going to go from dry to wet, like right over here on the last bar. It's not very audible. Never mind. Trying to think, how would I make this section a bit more interesting? I don't think I should go so overboard with it because, um, yeah, this is fine already. I think. Then let's do a fake out over here. So yeah, we're gonna do a fake out. I'm going to take all this and then copy it on this side. But then this one we're going to let's telephone vocal this. vocal, and then we're going to turn this on at this section right here. Take this impact and then move it here. Then we're going to write one more section in this solo over here, and then I'm going to add something else to help the transition. Yep, CPU starting to die. Okay. I want to add like a fill, a bass fill. Like maybe over here. Like let me add one of my dubstep fills in here. This one of my favorite ones. Put this at 75. And then this is okay. So E flat minor and then oh wait, this is at 70 BPM and I have to multiply it by 2, right? a bit of the tonality over here. Maybe I have to put Complex Pro. Oh, the crash is missing, that's why. Oh, this is a minor key, no wonder. Okay. Hold on, let me put chroma on this thing. Plugins, chroma. Where is it? VST3 is in audio chroma. There we go. Let's put chroma on this thing. Um, we are in E D sharp minor. All right, and then OTT this to make it even more punchy in a sense. It needs a bit more high-end fizz, so let me put an erosion here. There we go. Ooh, let me cut up my bass and then put it like this. Yeah, that sounds okay. Okay, I need to free some tracks. This one, this one, this one. Freeze these three. Okay, there we go. Something, someone, somewhere. Hello, welcome to the chat, man. Welcome, welcome. Just working on this future bass track currently. Time is it now? It is now 10:12. I'll stream for a little bit more and then we'll call it a day. Okay, just wait for these tracks to freeze. I'm trying to think of how to make the chord stacks sound a bit better. I think I need to add one more layer, honestly, of the chord stacks. Yeah, I think I have an idea for a layer to add. Also, what is this chain over here? What is this chain that I made at the bottom? Which sound is that? Is that a pad? I Oh wait, yeah, it's number 5, right? Yes, it's number 5. Okay, my bad. Whoops. I was looking at this like, why did I put a saturator there? I was like, I put a saturator at plus 12 there. I was so confused. Yeah, this is it why I wanted to freeze the track after I made it because yeah, this will happen. I do have an idea for the second part of this song is like I wanted to be melodic dubstep slash maybe a bit of color bass. I don't know. Whenever I try to make color bass, it tends to sound a bit generic, but hey, at least I'm having fun doing it. Okay, it's about to be finished freezing and should be good. Let's see. Up, hello. Up there you go. Okay. All right, so it's frozen now. Hopefully there's gonna be less latency or lag or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna add one more layer of chords to this. I have an idea for a layer. I'm thinking of making like this. Okay, let's see how this sounds first. If I just put Vital on it. Go over here, put Vital. Oh God, why is Vital so big? Okay, let me shrink this down. Um, can I minimize the window? I forgot how to do this. I forgot how to minimize the window. I guess you're stuck with Vital being this big. Okay, let's see how this sounds first. It's probably gonna sound horrible. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. Okay, trick that I saw, right, is that you can take your thing. Let me put this at 10. There you go, generic supersaw. But then I'm going to take a square wave and then layer it over. There you go, that sounds good. Okay, and then chorus? Maybe a bit of chorus, only a little bit. Just a little bit of chorus. Just to make it sound a bit wider. I'm gonna put a bit of distortion on it, only a bit. There you go, like this. How about a flanger sound is? Oh, too much. Maybe around 48. Okay, there we go. That's a nice sound. Maybe just one more layer of like a pulse width. Okay, I want to try something as well. I'm gonna route one of them through a normal filter like this. And then I'm gonna route the same input into a format filter. Let's see how this sounds. Maybe put another random on here. Okay, there we go. Let's see how this sounds in context. Okay, there's a bit of an impact it has, yeah. So I'm gonna keep that. There we go. Okay. What else can I add before I end the stream? I guess I'll add one more the riser from earlier into this area, and then I'm going to ooh, how am I gonna end this phrase? Not thinking about it. Okay, there we go. Here's the riser. We're gonna fade it all the way in. And then we're gonna get the symbol from earlier over here, and then the chime sound right here. Okay, that's a somewhat okay transition. I need another riser, like seriously. I think I said this last stream as well that I need another riser because I don't have that many risers in my sample pack. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think what else I can improve. Maybe the beginning I can add a bit more stuff. Okay, that one synth over here, this one. I don't really like it, I'm gonna be honest. I'm thinking maybe we can pulse with it. Crunchy and edible? Yeah, it's very crunchy. Should I keep it as a square wave or? Maybe around here, and then we get a, where is it? Filter, filter, filter. There it is. That's not a filter. Wait, what? Oh, wait, there it is. Okay. And we slowly filter this in. YT chat takes a while to show up on screen. Rip. Yeah, the latency between the stream and the actual widget that I have is quite noticeable. But like, I will see like the chat. Like that's a signal when I see your chat. There's a tiny little click over here that I can hear. This section. This bass I feel like could be a bit better. I recently made this like 808 preset over here. Let me turn this off temporarily and then use this. Let me also disable the MIDI because it tends to break my CPU sometimes. Because I made this preset over here for an 808 bass. Where is it? Analog bass. Where is it? Is it this one? Yep, it's this one. Let me turn it down the pitch, -36. Too much, -24. Then I'm gonna flip this. See how this sounds. Maybe I layer both of them. See how this sounds. Yeah, it sounds a bit better now. Oh, I have an idea for a Foley layer right here. So this section, right, you notice there's this swell right here. So like the swell, this part right here. So CPU issue is so true. Was video editing the other day, crashed 5 times. Yeah. Whenever you're working with anything that's like video or media in general, like if you have too much of something, it's going to lag. Also, I have no knowledge about music theory, sorry, but it's really fun watching you work. Thank you, man. Thank you. It's glad to hear that someone's still watching. Like, even if you don't understand, like hearing you guys watch, it's like being interested is quite cool, honestly. Uh, okay, what was it? Oh yeah. So I have this glass effect, which I use in like I've used it in so many songs, and I've shown it to all my friends. They think this is such a cool effect, but you take a broken glass, like this one, and all you do is reverse it. Once you reverse it, you get this super cool tonality. So what you can do with that is, oh, it's warm. No wonder it sounds a bit weird. Is you can use that as a layer for like some swells. So maybe I can shrink this a little bit right here, and then let's see how this sounds. I think it's a bit too loud. Whoa, I didn't mean to do that. Whoops. Okay. -6. Hey, that's sick. Yeah, I really like that. And then we're gonna repeat that throughout all these sections. I think it could use a bit of reverb. It's like my quote now every single time you come to my stream. The thing that most of the time the thing I'm going to say is this could use a bit of reverb. It gets a bit repetitive though after a while. Could use a bit of reverb. It's like when Virtual Riot says, "Oh, it's time to add some OTT," which is the effect, which is also really good. I feel like I might say that as well. Actually, I don't say that as often. I say reverb more because reverb is just too good of an effect. It makes everything sound so ethereal. That's your word of the day, ethereal. Now it's too short. I think I like the old one more. Like when it's longer, it sounds better, but maybe I need to end on a different part of it. Like here, let's see. Oh, that sounds a bit better. Sounds more crystally. Like I press Control D, you see how long it takes. Oh, let's try adding a grain delay. Hold on. Grain delay on this. Another one of my favorite effects. Uh, let's put this on 25 feet back. Put the sync, and then put this on 300. There we go, something like that. A bit more glitchy. 50% was fine. Maybe I put the feedback at 50. All right, there we go. Okay, I think that's good enough for the effect. Okay, I think that's gonna be it for today's stream. I'm gonna open up all these tracks and maybe I can open up span as well and then maybe shrink it so it's not so big. But um, yeah, let's listen to the whole thing from start to end and see progress so far. And we're gonna call it a stream. So yeah, here we go from the very beginning. Let's go. Three, two, one. That is pretty cool. Honestly, I'm happy with where this is. Out of all the tracks I've made on stream so far, this is probably the one that I'm the most proud of. Like, this was honestly just a fun idea, and yet it sounds so complete as a track. And I don't know why. It's really nice. I really like it. There are some parts where I feel like still could be improved. Like the tom drums over here still doesn't sound very in the mix. Like it feels like they're missing something. Like it feels a bit too punchy. So I might have to fix that. But other than that, everything else feels very complete. I do need to think of a bit more ideas for the drop though, because I noticed that it does sound a bit repetitive in some parts. Also, why is this? What is this supposed to be? Oh, there's the Reese base. Actually, wait, this is supposed to be here. Whoops. Okay, it does feel a bit empty there. I was wondering why, but um, actually, wait. Maybe the Reese base should go in the group as well. Not thinking about it, but yeah. Okay, but anyways, yeah, I feel like the drum needs a bit more ideas because it does get a bit repetitive with the melody. So I might need to change the melody up, or maybe make a new like motif throughout the whole drop, like mainly the drop sections. But yeah, overall, I think it sounds pretty complete, and I think with enough once I start getting to the breakdown and the second drop, it'll be a bit more interesting. Just add a bit of reverb. Yeah, just add a bit of reverb. You know what? I'm just gonna let's add a bit of reverb right now. This is gonna break the project. Let's see. Hold on, reverb. Let's just add a bit of reverb right here. Watch this. Uh, ready? Sounds great, bro. Hold on, how's the drop sound with this? I feel like I'm like at lost lands right now listening to this. Just add a bit of only a little bit, just only a little bit of reverb. It's not like that 100% wet, but yeah. Okay. Anyways, yeah. That's gonna be it for today's stream. For those who are watching the video to the end, for those in the chat as well, thank you so much for watching to the end. Or if you just joined the stream, thank you also for watching whenever you join, because no matter where you started watching or whatever, it still means a lot that you guys continue to watch my streams. I'm just doing this for all fun and stuff, and yeah, it's cool to see people just join in and have some fun and chilling and watching the stream too. Next stream is going to be next Thursday, and it's most likely going to be the last stream for a while. As I mentioned at the start of the stream, I'm going to be making an announcement video regarding how the channel is going to be in the next in the coming future, pretty much. So do keep a lookout for that. But just know that next week is going to be the last stream for a while. It's going to be on Thursday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.